Hello everyone, just letting people join. See if we can share it anywhere as well, get other people to see. I'm just letting people start to come in now, so just going to share a little bit. Hopefully we'll get a few more people watching. Just sharing to the group. Hope the candles are helping you feel nice and relaxed and ready for tonight's live. So I'm just trying to share and get a few more people and groups in so that we can make sure everybody gets the benefit of what I have to share with you tonight. Hello to those joining. I'm just sharing. Hopefully we'll get a few more people before I start having a natter and sharing some good techniques for grounding and protection. Just bear with me while I get the posts up a little bit. Dropped you. Okay, so I've got a little bit here of the video going on so I know what's going on there, and I'm hoping we'll get a few more people watching. Technology is not one of my favourite fortes. So we'll start off, I think. There's quite a few of you here, and I just want to sort of share my knowledge, because at the moment I've been feeling my guides telling me a lot. So first off, I'll just start with myself. So good evening, and my name is Liz, and I actually am a psychic spiritual medium. I'm from Derbyshire in the UK, and I had psychic abilities from quite a young age. Used to get a lot of deja vus and freak people out. And then during 2007 I did my reiki attunement, and that gave me the confidence to explore my gifts more, is how I would say. It was a very difficult journey at times. It wasn't always easy, and you do tend to go through the rainstorms before you see the rainbow. And then I decided to set up Raven Wolf Moon in March last year during the lockdown, because I'd had quite a few years off with having children, and before meeting my husband I was a single mum. So then with lockdown I had this time, and my husband was at home to have the kids more, so I decided to set up the business, and it's just really gone from strength to strength, and so have I, which has been really lovely. And the gifts that I have, I've been able to really help and share so much knowledge and guidance and comfort to other people. It's been epic. So sorry kids. So where was I? Yeah, so I've just made some notes. I'm going to help me keep track of what I'm doing. So also part of my group, I have a very good friend called Joanne Tor, and she does a lot of good advice on dream interpretations, and I'm hoping she'll get the confidence this year to go and get herself certified, because I'd really love to have her as part of the team. She's been a really good friend since as far back as I can remember. We were very good teenage friends, getting up to mischief and listening to music. So moving on, we have now at this point experienced that. Hello, thank you everyone joining. My guides have been telling me more and more recently, especially while I'm doing readings, hi Melissa, that there are people out there that are opening up and ascending and awakening, and everybody's trying to go higher and open up to the spiritual world, but the problem is they're not getting the fundamentals, which is the grounding and the protection in place first. Because back when, like I say, when it happened to me and I had my big spiritual awakening, we didn't have the internet, didn't have anyone to sort of turn to that understood or could help or guide me. So I'm hoping that tonight I can help all of you do the fundamentals and get there. Oh, thank you Aaron, thank you Daniel, hello everybody. So yeah, so tonight I really want to get to the fundamentals of deep grounding and protecting yourself on so many different levels. And part of this, depending on how many of you are still here at the end, I'd love to do a guided meditation for you so that you can experience that connection to source, yourself, your heart, and also the deep grounded energies of Mother Earth, Goddess Gaia. Because when you can fetch all those three together, it is beautiful and you will feel absolutely divine. There is nothing quite like it. So looking at my notes now, parts of being psychic is people asking me about how they can open up, and it's very unable to be described because not everybody has the same gifts. Some people can see spirits, hear spirits, sense them, just know. And some people have all of those. But there is this deep connection that I would say comes first, and that's just your intuition. You just have that feeling. It's your gut. Follow that feeling. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt yourself. That inner power and that inner strength is what will get you further on your spiritual journey. And so, therefore, from that point, I sort of say to people to tune in when they start having their ears ringing or the headaches and the tingles. They're all really beautiful signs that things are happening for you. Is to imagine an old radio. The ones that you used to have to tune in, dial. That is what you've got to do. You've got to get that frequency and you've got to make it so it's right for you. And you'll know when you're getting it right because it'll just sort of go dee. And that's a point when then you've got to ground. You really need to ground yourself and protect yourself, because things, entities, energy can all come at you pretending to be light, pretending to be good. Even people, I've lost so many so-called friends since I started this journey, but the more I ascended and I became higher on my path, I noticed their frequency and how they were being wasn't for my highest good. And so I've just let them go. I've sent them with love and light, respectfully, and hold them in a place away from you. Just be grateful for the times that I did have with them. Same with relationships, And so from that point, I'm going to go on to talk about how I ground. I did share a post on my page, Raven Wolf Moon, so there is a bit described in there for you along with a picture, so that helps sort of figure out how to envision it, because sometimes the seeing of it is the difficult bit, but once you get over that, you'll get to the point where you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. So what I do is I'm going to show you a picture that I drew to sort of help you imagine what we're doing here. So this is this way is universal source. So this is everything spiritual, universal source energy, and this is us. Now, as we're growing and ascending and reaching out, we're like a tree. So we're branching up and out, but the higher we're going up, we need to also come down into earth, and we need to guide all our branches and our roots deep, deep, deep down into the earth and around Goddess Gaia's core. So I hope that gives you something visual to go off there. I'm not a very good drawer, as you can tell. So hopefully you get what I'm going there. So when I'm grounding, I tend to sit and take deep breaths. And I'll do like 6 seconds in, so I'll hold for 4 seconds, and then I'll release slowly for 8 seconds. And you do that a couple of times and you'll sort of notice where you're feeling a bit off balance, where you're holding tension. So then you need to start letting go of that tension, relaxing your shoulders, letting go of the thoughts and worries and stresses of your day. And then bring your attention to your root chakra, which is colour red. Now I'll just fetch a picture up of chakras, because not everybody knows about chakras. So this is part of my Reiki manual I'm designing at the moment. And so you can see all the chakras and the colours, and our root chakra is down here. And this is the colour red and is located at the base of the spine. The root chakra is associated with our feelings of safety and security. So the root chakra is the guiding and grounding force that draws us to connect to the earth energies. So therefore we're talking about Mother Earth. Hello, lovely to see you all come in. So just talking about how to ground. So yeah, we're grounding to Mother Earth Gaia, and we're doing that to connect to her earth energies, because they will also empower us. So like I was showing the tree before, what goes up must come down. And that's very symbolic of, if you've seen the tree of life, you'll see that it goes up and it also goes down. Again, so this is how we need to be feeling and envisioning what we're doing when we're working with spirit, angels, so that you know where you're going. And then from there, you're thinking of the colour red, because that's what your root chakra is. And think of it as a deep, deep red, like an ice pop, a red ice pop, or a really big red apple. This is your root chakra, and this is where all that grounding and connection to the earth needs to start. So we need to envision these in the best way that we can. And then I sort of see it as either a placenta, or you can see it as roots, the cords of a tree burying deep into the ground, stretching out through the soil, and again with the width and depth of how your roots are going. So you envision that all the way down to the earth. So again, that is what you're doing. You're making sure that you're connected deep into the earth. And as you do that and you connect to the core, you ask the goddess Gaia to transmute any negativity, any fears, any worries, any stresses that you're holding. And she then, I also ask that she transmutes it in love and light, so that it's going back into the world, but in the best way for anybody else to receive it. And then as I've grounded and I've done that and got rid of all the negativity, and I've connected to beautiful earth core, I then envision like red lights coming back up, and as they are coming up, they're drawing up knowledge, wisdom, power and deep grounding back up into my being. So we're going all the way up from the core, up the roots, back to the earth, to the root chakra, and that's holding you in place then there. And then from that point, when you're going into working in psychic and angel work, your other chakras are then flowing with the universal energy. So it's coming down, but it's going up and down. So then when we've done that, I like to sort of take a minute, breathing in and feeling that energy, that deep connection. And as I've said, it's come back up. And really deepen your breath when you're drawing that energy back deep into yourself. So again, do the breathing techniques like the in for 6, hold for 4, release slowly for 8. And that is a brilliant way to just ground. And I think from that point, you can sort of see the importance of when you're opening up and you're going so high into spirit realm, why you need to ground. People are thinking that they can just go and stamp on the ground a bit, or hug a tree, or just sit outside in nature. That's okay, and that's good for people that aren't going to be working with spiritual energies, and that aren't going to be working with healing energies. But we really, really, especially at this moment, with the world how it is, we really need to be grounded and making sure that we are grounding properly. So now I'm going to move on to talking about protection. And then after I've done that, I think we'll do a nice guided meditation. So some parts of protection I do a lot. So I'll just explain some basics, and then I'll tell you what I do. I think that's the best way to go forward. So a lot of cultures will think of a white light, brilliant white light, like a big bubble all around you. Some see it as a rainbow light, and they let that fill their whole aura, go out of your aura, about 6 inches out of your aura. Imagine that white light, so big, massive white bubble, And even on the outside of that white light protection, you could put a gold sheath around it maybe. I use a violet flame around mine because I use transmuting energies. I like to turn bad into good, so if any bad hits me, I'm sending it back out good, which is a really lovely way to think of things. Another common technique is people envision the cloak. So the cloak is imagining yourself wrapped from head to toe in a beautiful purple or dark blue velvet cloak. Nothing silk. We always think like velvet or cotton. That's really good. So it'd cover all the outside of your aura. So it's not a cloak that's covering your physical body, it's covering your aura. And then imagine that it has such a massive hood coming off your aura, and that hood will come all the way down over your aura, and it will go over your third eye. So it's protecting that third eye chakra. So that's another common one that's used. There's the suit of armour. So if you find it easy to imagine yourself clad in a special suit of armour, which has the ability to filter out negative energies, you could also use that. That's a very great and effective way to protect yourself. Another common one is the mirror. And I've often said this to friends when they're feeling a bit like someone at work or at school is sending them bad vibes and negativity. So the mirror works in a way that it shields and will reflect back any negative energies from where they came from. So you can reflect them back and then ask for Saint Germain's violet flame for transmutation for safe, positive energy, or vice versa. So going into a little bit about Saint Germain, I first met him when I was started with my Reiki journey. Lovely, beautiful. I still have a lot of time for him. So you could invoke him by just calling his name 3 times, and he can be used to just clear any negative energy out of large areas as well, not just your aura. You can do it from houses. If you feel a negative spot when you're out and about, you know, just ask him. So how you could do that is visualize yourself protecting a place for a few hours, for example. You'll just need to sort of repeat his name and the energy you take on in that. Thank you. So there's no boundaries really at all as to what you can do for your own forms of protection, but it is all mainly how to do with you and what you prefer. What someone says works for them won't work for everybody. So it's sort of nice to know that, you know, what works for you. It's all trial and error. But again, as you go through your spiritual journey, you will need to not just do little things like with the grounding. You can't just go and sit by a tree. The more you go in spiritual, the bigger your protection has to be, the deeper your grounding has to be. So another important thing is, going back to like the chakras, and we're talking about the root chakra with our grounding, is you can do chakra shields, which you can visualize or draw a cross, a Celtic cross, if you're not really into holy and religious things, and you can just imagine them in front of each chakra and just wish to protect them all. But sacral protection for your chakra, your root chakra, is most commonly needed, especially if you're feeling a bit off balance and a bit spacey, which I think a lot of people are at the minute as well. There's so much intense energies going around, so it really is helping. And certain people can also be a bit vampirish with your energy, and they'll take it, and especially if you're an empath, you'll just feel so drained and run down from it all. So it helps to have these protections in place just for yourself and your own energy, even if you don't want to work with spirit and angels and things like that. So it's really important that you try and take some form of responsibility for your own grounding and protection in a physical sense, really. Some friends can just like kind of make demands on you all the time, and you find yourself feeling really drained. luckily for me, my spiritual journey's led me to get rid of those people, and all my friends are very good now. So if you notice you're not happy about certain people and situations, or people that are putting you through things, you might want to think that they're trying to sort of control you by the use of their negativity. They're taking their negative emotions, but using your energy to fill themselves back up again. Do you understand that? So yeah, you can then suffer endangering feelings of guilt and fear and anxiety, and it's actually not yours, it's someone else's. So this is why it's really good again with the protection and the grounding. So I'll go what I do when I'm protecting. Like I said, it's not always straightforward, a little thing. So when I'm opening up, before I've even done any of that, I go and do my deep grounding like we've just discussed, and then I open all my chakras up, but I don't connect to source or open my third eye. Before I've done any of that, I use several techniques, and one of them is the triple goddess chant, which, if you're not particularly into deities and goddesses and stuff, or Celtic, you might not really understand, but it's what I do, that's what works for me. And it's a symbol that looks a little bit like this. I'll draw it for you. Can we see that? I don't know, can't. I'm trying to line it up. Oh, there she is. So yeah, it looks a bit like that. And the way I see the centre bits, how they meet, is two arms held up high and the body. So I always hold my hands like this either side as part of the triple, and my centre being the beam. And I say the triple goddess chant, which is, "O gracious goddess of moon and light, protect me both day and night. Thrice round the circle it is bound, all evil sink into the ground." So I say that 3 times first. And then my good friend, who's also a psychic medium, because I'm not very wholly religious in that sense. I do believe in God. I've been lucky enough through meditations and working to actually meet him and work with him. But I've never been very religious. I'm more nature-based and goddess-based. But she told me that not all entities and spirits respect what I respect and believe in what I believe. So it's very important to also incorporate the cross. So I do it my way. So it's sky above, earth below, gods and goddesses, angels and archangels. So I'm then putting the cross on top of myself. And I envision that as bright white cross. Okay? And then, that doesn't end there. Then I do my bubble, my big white light, and then I fill that all around the edges with the violet flame. And then I call in all my guardians, all my guides, and they all protect me and stand by my side. Archangel Michael's always been to my left, always. Since I can remember, he's always been on my left side, shielding me with his shield and slaying any negative energy with his sword. And more recently, Archangel Metatron, and he's on my right now. And then I have Uriel at the front and Raphael at the back. And Raphael works very close with me because of my Reiki work. I'm a Reiki master, and I'm a Holy Fire Reiki master as well. So yeah, and then I've got that, and then all my spirit animals and guardians, and then there's other little things that I do, because depending on what area I'm working in, if I'm working in a healing, I'm doing my Reiki, shamanic work, you need to go to places psychically. So some people will have a cottage, for example. I have an area that I go into, and every time I go into any one of these, it's like the Lion, the Witch, and a wardrobe. I'm going through that wardrobe, and I'm in whichever world I'm in and I'm working in. So with my healing work, it will be, I go in and there's bamboo chimes everywhere representing the element of wind, and I put on my robes and the colour I associate with healing, and I'm lucky enough to work with dragons, so I always go and speak to my dragon and focus my heart, make sure my heart's centered, and I always say at this point to protect me again, protect my client. And then I ask that I be transmuted, all my energy is transmuted, so nothing that I'm going through or experiencing comes into the work that I'm doing. And then I wander up to wherever, so I'll say it's a temple, and as I'm walking I really feel the ground beneath my feet, and I look up to the sky, and my sky, because I'm not normal, I have the sun on one side and I have the moon and stars on the other, so I'm thanking the sky above, the earth below. I've already had the bamboos for the wind, and then I have a lake, and in the lake is lots of fish, koi carp, because they're very spiritual, lotus flowers in there, so I touch that. That's my element of water. I put my fire torches on all the way up to my temple, so there I've fetched the elements all in as well, and they're all surrounding me because I work with elemental and natural energies. And then I'll head into my temple, and it's not just finished there, the protection. So I've then got all my doors and my locks, little secret things that I've put in place that I'm not going to share, I'm sorry, you know, we have to do this and find our own way. I'm sharing so much just to try and help and encourage other people to find their way. And so once I'm in there, I envision it's like an open fire, except for the universe comes down through that open fire and fills the room. It's wonderful. And then I'll connect again through source, have an open temple roof. All the angels come around me working with that, and then I make a statement, an intention, and that is really important that you make that intention. So no evil, negative or low energies are welcome into this space. Hi Kelly, glad you could make it. And then reiterate, only pure loving light energies are welcome to work and assist me. And then from this point, you know, you can flick on your I'm open sign, or you can do the gasho if you know what the gasho is. You know, it's that I'm open, I'm ready, I'm willing to work now. And then from that point, you can fetch yourself back to where you are and where you're working. But the point I'm trying to get across is you need a safe space that you can go to psychically, spiritually, that no one else knows. So you know how that space feels, and you will know if it feels off or something's tried to get in, because you'll just be like, something feels different. And so there, from things like that, you need to work in, like, you're transmuting your energy, working on your cosmic bin, call in someone more spiritual if you're really struggling and you don't know what to do or how to do it. I tend to burn it down with violet flame and rebuild the next time I go into that, so it's all done and dusted. So yeah, I hope that's helped a lot of people, and you've got a lot of knowledge to go forward with. I feel like I've really helped now and given some good knowledge in this reading that I've shared. So if you all like to get comfortable, I would like to give you a little guided meditation now. So if you go and sit down and relax, and I shall pop you back here in front of these beautiful candles. Okay, so just give you a minute to get comfy. And just turn the music up a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. I hope so. Just a bit of background. Okay, so get comfortable, sit with your back straight. You don't want you really lying down for this because it's grounding and connecting. So sit up, sit on the floor, have your feet on the floor. That's what we're looking for. So then I want you to take a moment to notice if you're leaning forward, slouched, leaning backwards, or to either side. Then consciously balance your energy and center yourself, center your weight. Notice that you're feeling straight. If you're struggling with that, a good tip is to hold both of your arms straight up in the air, and that kind of lifts your back and your chin up, and then just pop your arms back down by your side, and there you should be centered and the weight will be even. So then I want you to tune into your breathing. Take a slow deep breath in for 6 seconds, hold for 4, and slowly release for 8 seconds. Take a deep breath in for 6 seconds, hold for 4, slowly release for 8 seconds. Deep breath in again for 6 seconds, hold for 4, and slowly release for 8 seconds. Okay, so now imagine you are a tree. What type of tree are you? Are you a mighty oak, or a giant redwood, a willow, a rowan tree, or maybe a fir tree? Really sense yourself as this tree. Notice yourself standing tall. Notice that your body is feeling hollow on the inside as you take on the form of this tree. You are clear of any thoughts. You're clear of any worry and tension. You see your branches reaching up towards the light. The light is shining down and it lights up your entire being. Now begin to imagine you have roots. See them reaching, stretching, and going deep, deep down through the earth, through the soil, deeper to the bedrock, and even deeper to the sediments. And are going towards the beautiful golden and red centre of our Mother Earth. Beautiful core is waiting for their roots. Feel firmly grounded at this moment that you are connected to Mother Earth's core. And simultaneously, you feel yourself reaching towards the sky with your branches, reaching up to the light. You're absorbing all the bright sunlight. You feel yourself soaking up and absorbing pure source universal energy. This crystalline consciousness fills you. It fills your tree trunk, your branches and your roots with pure divine light. In this moment, let yourself simply be balanced between the source energy and the earth energy. Just breathe. You notice your connection with other trees. You notice your connection with the birds, the air and the sky. You feel whole and as one with a divine source. You feel whole and as one with the earth, with nature, and all that is. Take a nice deep breath. Enjoy this feeling of being deeply grounded and being able to reach and connect with the divine source. You are now deeply grounded and you are also filled with love and light. Your heart is open and it is full of love. It is full of love for all that exists. Your entire being is completely illuminated now. Take a moment to see how illuminated you are. Now draw your attention back to your branches and then to your glorious tree trunk, and then slowly feel your body and your incredible grounded self. You are illuminated, you are connected, and you are grounded. As above, so below. Now gently wrinkle your fingers and toes and slowly open your eyes. Want to take a moment to just fetch yourself back from the meditation. And when you're ready, you can just leave a comment and see what kind of tree you were. That'd be something we can look into afterwards. So Melissa says she was a Spanish moss. Oh, Kelly, I'm recording it, so I'll send you the recording, babe. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Joe. Would anybody like to share their experience from that? Oh, lovely, Sharon. Fir trees are very, very good. I know quite a bit about them. I'll speak to you about those later. Oh, Joe, I'm always an oak tree. Very good protecting prosperous tree. Like the ones in Mobile, Alabama. Oh, gorgeous, Melissa. Oh, thank you, Sharon. That's such a lovely compliment. Sharon was my Reiki master. Have a lot of respect for her and I love her to bits. Oh, Aaron was an oak tree too. I'm glad you could take part, Aaron. I'm lovely to see you here. A horse chestnut. Oh wow, Joanne, that's something I've not heard. No, I didn't even think of a horse chestnut tree. Wow, you should have some research on that. Daniel, my husband, I bet he was an oak tree. Oh, thank you, Heather. I'm so glad you got to take part. Thank you. One of my besties is Miss Heather Preston. Yes, Joanne, have a Google and let me know what you find out. I'd love to know myself on that. Oh, we've had some lovely feedback. And I'd like to thank you all for, staying around and sticking for the meditation. It's something I've recently qualified in, and my guides again pushed me out of my comfort zone. I never think I've got a very nice calming voice, so it's so lovely. You've all put such lovely things. Ah, Donna, that's a bit of a spiritual connection there that I experience, tingling around your hair. It's a sign you're ascending and waking up. Oh, so lovely to read that, Aaron. I'm so glad. Lots of love and light to you. Oh, lovely Eileen. Oh, thank you. So yes, as I was saying, I've recently qualified in meditation. So you guys were my first little minions. So thank you all for participating. It's given me a little bit more confidence now because I've only done a couple in-person meditations. This is my first group. If anybody would like to leave a review on it on my group page, Raven Wolf Moon, if you take a screenshot, I would love to give you on a next experience of any meditations booked with me until March the 15th, a £5 discount. So you could get this and also some Reiki healing. Oh wow, lovely, lovely. Oh, Joanne, she's one of my dream interpreters. She's awesome. I think she'll share the link possibly to get in touch with me privately. That would be great. Yes, Donna, of course. I've also got a recording going on, so hopefully I can share the recording as well at some time. Yes, so so yeah, I'm really happy with that, and thank you all so much for joining me. And I'm going to finish off with my gorgeous Ascending Masters Reiki cards. Thank you, Joe. So we're going to have a shuffle and see what the Ascending Masters want to say to us for the guidance tonight. So we have manifestation power. And this card says, use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. So I'm hoping that by sharing my grounding and my protection and like my spiritual place where I go to work, is going to help a lot of you on your spiritual journeys. That's something I love so much, just helping others as well. So I'd love to thank you all again for taking part, and hopefully you'll be around for another one. Take care. Bye bye.